Hey there, folks. The Scottsdale Travel Chick's sidekick, here to present our ultimate day trip guide to Evian, France. In this video, we'll cover a bit of Evian's history, we'll recommend the best approach for taking a walking tour, we'll cover most of the top sites in town, and give you a few of our pro tips too. So let's get right into things. Evian is a small French town on the southern coast of Lake Geneva, a 35-minute boat ride from the city of Lausanne directly across the lake, or a little more than 1 hour by train or car from Geneva, Switzerland. Evian, officially called Evian de Bons, got its start back in 1789, when a French aristocrat became thirsty during his walk and took a drink from a natural spring he found along his route. He continued drinking from the water and found that it eventually cured him of his kidney stones. And soon the word got out, and the landowner, Monsieur Cachet, began selling the water as a health elixir. One thing led to another, and by 1806, the first thermal spa had opened, and by 1826, Evian had its first bottling facility to sell and distribute its water, followed by a casino, hotels, and restaurants, all hoping to cash in on the high society visitors who came to experience the water's benefits. Finally, in 1864, the town of Evian was officially designated a spa town with the inclusion of the Le Bons added to its name. Today, with its turn-of-the-century history, beautiful lakeside location, and famous water, the small town of Evian has a lot to offer, and it's a great day trip from anywhere nearby. One of the best ways to explore the town is by way of a do-it-yourself walking tour, and we'll show you how to do it in this video. It will certainly be a full-day experience, taking in Evian's beautiful lakefront promenade, its interesting historical sites spread out across the town, and finishing with a bonus of some incredible elevated views by way of a free ride up the town's historic incline railway. Okay, babe, we're in Lausanne.
Very good.
I was thinking in Switzerland, just thought maybe we'd go to France for the day. What do you say?
Let's do that.
And we're going to take this ferry from Lausanne to Evian. Have you heard of Evian?
I have heard of Evian.
What have you heard about Evian?
Famous for their water.
Okay, maybe we can taste it right from the source and check out this historical spa town for the day.
Yes.
35-minute ferry, and let's go.
Okay. And by the way, we are in France. Oui, oui.
To do the do-it-yourself walking tour, first stop by the Evian Visitor Center and pick up a free English version of their tourist walking map. Evian's Visitor Center is on the very west side of the Waterfront Promenade. Then from there, simply follow the provided map and the metal raindrops embedded in the streets throughout the town to see its various notable sites. The tour, including the ride on the incline train up to the mountain, will take you about 3 to 5 hours in total. To begin your exploration of Evian, start off by simply wandering along the lakefront promenade. Here you'll find multiple choices for grabbing a snack with a lakefront view, or renting a boat, or taking a boat tour, or simply just taking some pics of the beautiful flower beds along the way. Across the street from the promenade, you'll find many of Evian's most substantial and significant buildings. Among the most notable are the Evian Thermal Spa. In addition to drinking the water in Evian, you can also take in the believed health benefits by way of bathing and spaing in it. Les Thermes Evian is the primary spa facility in town and offers a wide range of toning, regenerating, and relaxing treatments. To learn more, visit their official website. Next up is Palais Lumire, or the Palace of Light in English. It's one of the grandest buildings in Evian and was inaugurated back in 1902. And, fun fact, until 1984, it was where Evian's most prestigious thermal baths were still located. Today, it's an arts, culture, and meeting center where it's worth entering the eye-catching reception hall to see its graceful statues and period paintings of spa-loving nymphs. Villa Lumire is next, and it's a classic French-style villa, originally the summer home of the Lumire family. Today, and actually since 1927, it's Evian's town hall, and you can visit the villa for free during weekdays from 9 to 11:30. Another fun fact is that the Lumire brothers, who originally owned the villa, constructed and patented the very first cinematograph, which was the precursor to today's movie projectors. The Evian Casino is next, and it was dedicated in 1911. The idea of building a large casino here was born after the success of a small gaming house set up in 1873 on the outskirts of town. Today, the casino is still in operation and offers a full gaming experience with table games, slot machines, restaurants, bars, and even dinner shows. Check out their website to learn more. Finally, the Church of Our Lady of the Assumption is near the end of the promenade and was built way back in the second half of the 13th century, much older than the other buildings here. It's been rebuilt and restored several times since, and it might not look like much, but it is free to enter. And if you're lucky enough to come when the church organ is in operation, you're in for a special treat. Now, moving up into the town, there are two primary streets to explore. Of course, there are many more, but these two are the most interesting and filled with people along designated pedestrian zones. Rue de l'Église, or Church Street in English, is a narrow street starting behind the church I just mentioned and leading up to Charles de Gaulle Square. And once you get there, Charles de Gaulle is a lively square right next to the historic Hotel de France, along with other notable buildings and monuments within sight. From the square, though, behind the church, we come by Hotel de France and up Rue National. This is the main commercial street of Evian, so we're going to walk down here now. From that square, you can then start your walk down Rue National, which is Evian's main commercial street, full of various shops, restaurants, and historical sites. After walking down Rue National for a while, you're going to make a right and go up towards the funicular that takes you up the hill. But just before you get there, just above this main street of Rue National in the middle of town, is where you'll find the most famous and busiest site in town, the Cachet Spring. This fountain may not look like much, but it's where the famous Evian water flows freely from its source deep underground, and it's a must-stop for any tourist. The name Cachet Spring comes from the original landowner, Gabriel Cachet, who developed the water source after that very first aristocrat proclaimed its benefits. Water flows 24/7 from deep underground at a brisk temperature of 12 Celsius, and drinking the water is free, but you'll very likely have to wait in line as every other tourist in town, as well as a few locals, will be wanting to get their taste of the water as well. And this is the famous Cachet Spring, where Evian water comes straight out of the ground from its original source. But it's a little busy. This is kind of how it usually is. Not like you have it all to yourself. It's an unimpressive thing, but everyone comes here to get water from the source. In the beautiful building just down the hill from the fountain, you can enter the historical Buffet Cachet building and explore a small area to learn about Evian the company and why they believe Evian the water is so special. You'll learn that Evian water is naturally filtered through glacial sand during a 15-year journey from the high Alps down to the town, eventually producing the mineral-rich water offered up commercially today around the world. Also in this area are 2 town entrances to the Evian funicular, or its incline railway. Okay, another raindrop telling us to go this way to the funicular, which goes up. Built in 1907 to transport well-to-do guests from their exclusive hotels high up in the hills down to the spa baths near the lakefront. The funicular was fully restored in 2002 and is now free to ride, which you should absolutely do. It's a noted historic monument, and it's a fun way to relive a bit of Evian spa history. And further up that hill, at the terminus of the train station, there are 2 more worthwhile sites. One is the Royal Evian Resort. Set on 47 acres of parkland, it presides over the town with elegance and grandeur. Its massive halls have seen a long list of celebrities and nobility over the years, and you can explore it too. Maybe have a cup of tea or coffee on the patio while you're at it. The other site here, worth a short 10 to 15 minute walk, is the CLA Martin viewpoint. And here you can take in some expansive elevated views out over town and across all of Lake Geneva. And here we are at the top, looking out across Lake Geneva. These sites and more can be explored along the self-guided walking tour I mentioned earlier. But moving beyond the walking tour, you'll also have plenty of other things to keep you busy should you prefer. One is the tourist tram, which starts at the promenade and will take you on a narrated loop around town on a small tram. It has a reasonable cost of about €750 per person, and it's worth it as an alternative to the walking tour we've been talking about. If you want to get out on the water, then consider booking a boat tour or renting your own boat. Various boat tours are offered throughout the day at multiple places along the waterfront, so take your pick for some beautiful cruising. And if you're feeling really outgoing, then consider renting your own boat. You'll have choices from small boats priced at around €250 for a half day, all the way up to sizable boats hosting more than a dozen people and costing more than €1,000 per half day. Well, I hope it's obvious from what we've covered so far that you'll have more than enough sites and activities to keep you busy for a long day, or even more. And if you have the time and energy left at the end of your visit, be sure to take in the sunset along the lake, and then perhaps even an evening drink or dinner at one of the numerous dining options just across the street from the promenade. And until next time, see you later.